Well, thank you for coming to Retire Coast. We're going to present something a little bit different this time. It will be a dialogue, and the discussion point is Unretirement, Path to Purpose and Prosperity. Now, I'm Bill Anderson. I'm your author for this podcast and also the article on retirecoast.com that has charts and graphs and other information in it. If you decide that you want to learn more after you've listened to this, please go to that article, and we also have many companion articles on retirecoast.com. But the point about Unretirement, Path to Purpose and Prosperity is that many people have decided after they have retired that maybe that decision was a little bit hasty or circumstances changed. So please listen to our dialogue as we get into this topic, and you'll learn more. I hope you enjoy it. Please come back and listen to other podcasts.
Feeling that little nudge, that sense there might be more to this next chapter than just putting your feet up.
Yeah.
Maybe the nest egg isn't quite as robust as you'd hoped, or perhaps, that quiet life is feeling a little too quiet.
Yeah.
Today, we're taking a good, hard look at something really interesting, unretirement.
Exactly. We're diving into why a growing number of folks who've already said goodbye to the daily grind are now choosing to head back to work, or even, roll up their sleeves and start something new of their own.
And our guide for this exploration is a deep dive into a really comprehensive piece from retirecoast.com. It's called Unretirement, a new path to purpose and prosperity.
Mm-hmm. And it's packed with data, expert insights, and some real food for thought for anyone even, considering this kind of move.
Yeah, so our goal today is to pull out the most important pieces of that puzzle for you. We want to help you understand what's driving this trend, the pluses and minuses, the different roads you could take.
And even spotlight a specific place that's becoming quite the hub for this. We aim to give you the essential information without sort of burying you in details.
Okay, so let's jump right into this idea of the great unretirement. It sounds like more than just a few people changing their minds. Yeah.
It really is a significant shift.
Yeah.
I mean, how we think about retirement, that traditional picture of a complete and permanent exit, it's definitely being updated.
Right.
And the research from retirecoast.com, it aligns with data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. We're seeing a clear trend, more experienced workers taking on both part-time and full-time roles. This isn't just a blip.
That's a pretty strong indicator. So what's fueling this? What are the main reasons people are choosing this path? It can't be just one thing pushing everyone, right?
Oh, not at all. And the retirecoast.com article breaks this down nicely, drawing from their own poll data and some, insightful on-the-ground observations.
Okay.
The big drivers they found are the rising cost of living. That's a major concern for 51% of those they surveyed.
Wow, over half.
Yeah. Then, not having enough saved for retirement, cited by 37%. And the surprisingly significant social and emotional benefits, which resonate with 45%.
Interesting. That's quite high for social reasons.
It is. And beyond the numbers, they also noted that things like, boredom and the lack of a daily structure definitely play a role too.
So it's a real cocktail of factors, some driven by necessity, others by a genuine desire for something more fulfilling than just, full-time leisure.
Precisely. The article makes it clear that unretirement isn't always about filling a financial hole. It's also about that human need for connection, for a sense of contribution, something that retirement in its traditional form doesn't always provide for everyone.
Let's dig a bit deeper into those financial pressures then. What are the specific economic realities making people reconsider?
Well, the retirecoast.com piece points to a few key economic headwinds. You've got inflation eating away at savings.
Right, that's huge right now.
The ups and downs of the investment markets creating uncertainty, and retirement plans that simply haven't performed as well as people hoped. These factors combined have definitely squeezed the financial comfort of many retirees.
Yeah, you can see how that would happen. Unexpected healthcare costs, too, I imagine.
Exactly. Those can really throw a wrench in even the best laid plans.
And it sounds like some financial folks are even starting to see unretirement not just as a fallback, but maybe as a smart financial move in some cases.
Yeah, that's right. The article touches on research from T. Rowe Price, suggesting that bringing in some extra income can significantly bolster your financial security.
Okay.
And it potentially gives you more flexibility around when and how you draw on Social Security benefits, especially if you haven't hit your full retirement age yet.
Ah, right.
We also saw findings from an Oregon State University study indicating that a key reason retirees go back to work is simply that their initial savings weren't enough to sustain them long term.
So it's about both tackling immediate financial needs and also providing a bit more of a safety net for the future.
That's exactly.
Now, we talked about the financial side, but what about the non-monetary draws? What's pulling people back for reasons other than their bank balance?
Well, the article really emphasizes the personal satisfaction that comes from continued engagement. The chance to learn new things, keep your mind sharp. And there are some really significant mental well-being benefits, too. That social interaction, the feeling of being productive and contributing.
Yeah, combats isolation.
Right. Those can be powerful antidotes to feelings of isolation or a lack of purpose that can sometimes creep in during retirement. Studies have even linked continued social engagement to better cognitive health, even longevity.
And it seems like there's a real, often untapped value placed on the experience and knowledge that these more seasoned workers bring.
Absolutely. Resources like Next Avenue and the Richard M. Schultz Family Foundation, the article highlights them. They really underscore the positive impact older individuals can have by mentoring younger colleagues, offering their expertise as consultants, or even launching their own ventures. There's a real sense of purpose that can come from sharing that wealth of knowledge. It's fascinating, the idea that experience itself becomes this valuable currency.
Okay, so unretirement definitely sounds appealing on a lot of fronts. But what are some of the potential bumps in the road? What are the downsides someone thinking about this really needs to consider? Let's get that balanced perspective.
Definitely need that. The retirecoast.com article does a good job laying out both sides. On the plus side, like we said, there's financial stability, increased social connection, fighting off isolation, those important mental health perks.
Right.
It can also bring personal fulfillment, letting you explore new passions, maybe take advantage of more flexible work remote. Part-time roles are more common now.
True.
And we can't forget the value of putting all that life experience to good use through mentoring or consulting.
Those are some compelling benefits. But what about the flip side? What are the potential challenges someone might encounter if they decide to, unretire?
Yeah, there are definitely things to be aware of. Health issues, for one. Any physical limitations you might have could make returning to work more challenging.
Sure.
Also, bringing in more income could potentially bump you into a higher tax bracket. And depending on your age, it could impact your Social Security benefits. We should definitely talk more about that.
Okay, yeah, let's circle back to that.
Obviously, less free time is another trade-off. For some, the technology landscape might have shifted significantly.
The tech gap, right.
Yeah, requiring them to learn new skills, which can feel like a hurdle. And finally, depending on your previous retirement package, going back to work could potentially affect pension payouts or maybe some delayed retirement credits you were accumulating.
It sounds like a very individual calculation then, weighing those potential gains against the possible sacrifices.
Absolutely.
Now, the article also walks through the different paths someone might take. It seems like the big decision is usually whether to go back to being an employee or to try your hand at being your own boss.
That's essentially the choice, yeah. Taking a job often means, immediate income. You're generally taking on less financial risk.
Yeah.
Since you're not investing your own capital up front.
Less risk. Okay.
And there's usually a clear structure, a sense of stability. Plus, you often get to use the skills you've already developed over your career.
But there must be some drawbacks to going back into a traditional employment situation after being retired.
Oh, certainly. Flexibility can be limited. You're often working on someone else's schedule, right?
Right.
There's also the potential for age bias in some workplaces, unfortunately. And the physical or mental demands of the job might be more than you anticipated.
Yeah.
You might also find the work isn't quite as engaging or fulfilling as you hoped after having that retirement freedom.
Makes sense. Now, what about venturing out on your own and starting a business? That sounds both exciting and maybe a little daunting.
It can be both. The upside is significant flexibility. You call the shots, set your own hours, pursue something you're truly passionate about.
Total control.
Pretty much. And there's the potential for higher earnings in the long run. Plus, a real sense of personal achievement that comes from building something from scratch.
But the daunting part probably involves quite a bit of uncertainty, I'm guessing.
Exactly. There's the financial risks, startup costs, unpredictable income, especially early on. You'll likely face a learning curve, needing to pick up new skills in marketing, sales, maybe just general business management. And unlike a regular job, there's no guaranteed paycheck coming in.
Right.
So it really boils down to your comfort level with risk and your willingness to learn and adapt.
So it really hinges on what you're looking for in this next phase, your tolerance for risk, your energy level. Now, the article brings up a really interesting point about how where you choose to unretire can play a significant role. They specifically spotlight the Mississippi Gulf Coast. What makes that area stand out?
Yeah, that was interesting. The retirecoast.com article makes a pretty compelling argument for considering a move to a lower-cost area like the Mississippi Gulf Coast as a strategic part of unretirement.
Strategic how?
Well, they emphasize that a significantly lower cost of living can really stretch your retirement savings. It can free up capital if you want to start a business, or maybe take a less demanding, lower-paying job without feeling that financial pinch quite so much.
Ah, okay. Makes your money go further.
Precisely. Think about how much further your savings could go if your everyday expenses were considerably less.
And it's more than just about saving money. It sounds like there's more to it there.
Absolutely. It's about the overall environment. The article points to a surprisingly robust small business scene in the region.
Really?
Yeah, a supportive atmosphere for new ventures and a real demand for various services, which is great if you're thinking of starting something after retirement. They also highlight the availability of part-time and flexible jobs, recognizing the value that experienced workers bring.
What else makes it an attractive option down there?
Well, the strong sense of community in many of the smaller towns along the Gulf Coast is a big plus for a lot of people. It offers a welcoming, supportive environment. Plus, you've got good access to healthcare. A mild climate, great for outdoor activities year-round, affordable real estate options.
Affordable real estate is always good.
Definitely. And perhaps most significantly for retirees, no state tax on retirement income.
Wow, that's quite a list of advantages. But what if someone is really rooted in their current community, doesn't want to pick up and move? What are the benefits of unretiring right where you are?
And the article acknowledges that, absolutely. Staying put has its own set of advantages. You have your established social networks, you're close to family and friends. That's huge for many.
Can't put a price on that.
Exactly. And you avoid the financial and emotional upheaval of moving. You also have that built-in understanding of the local job market and business landscape. So it really comes down to weighing those personal connections and familiarity against the potential financial and lifestyle benefits of relocating.
So ultimately, it's about finding the right fit based on your individual priorities, your financial picture, and the kinds of opportunities available in different locations.
Spot on.
Now, a really crucial piece of this puzzle for anyone considering going back to work is how it might impact their Social Security benefits. The article delves into this important area, right?
Yes, this is essential information to understand.
Yeah.
Super important. If you've started receiving Social Security benefits early, meaning before you reach your full retirement age,
Okay.
any income you earn above a certain annual limit can temporarily reduce your benefit payments. The article mentions that for 2025, the estimated earnings limit is around $22,320.
$22,000, okay.
And for every $2 you earn above that, your benefits could be reduced by $1.
Ah.
However, and this is important, once you reach your full retirement age, these reductions stop. And your future monthly benefit amount may even be recalculated higher to account for any benefits that were withheld earlier.
Okay, so it's not necessarily lost forever.
Not necessarily, no. But it impacts your cash flow before full retirement age.
Got it. And what about if you start your own business? How does that income factor into the Social Security equation? Is it different?
A bit. For those who are self-employed or own a small business, it's your net earnings, that's your income, after deducting legitimate business expenses that count towards that Social Security earnings test.
Net earnings, okay.
And, as the article points out, business owners often have the ability to deduct those expenses, which can help lower their net earnings and potentially keep them below that earnings limit if they haven't yet reached full retirement age.
So some planning room there. The article also touches on Social Security disability benefits, SSDI. How does going back to work affect those?
That's a whole different set of rules, really. For individuals receiving SSDI, returning to work could definitely have implications for their eligibility.
Right.
The Social Security Administration does have something called the trial work period, or TWP. It allows disability beneficiaries to test their ability to work for up to 9 months without jeopardizing their benefits.
Okay, a trial period.
Yeah. But if their earnings go above a certain level after that period, the article estimates around $1,110 per month in 2025. For non-blind individuals, they could potentially lose their disability benefits. It's complex, and careful planning is absolutely essential.
Definitely sounds like something to get advice on. And it's not just about the amount of your Social Security benefit, is it? Earning income through unretirement can also affect how those benefits are taxed.
That's correct. This catches people by surprise sometimes. Any additional income you bring in from working job or business can increase your overall income level.
Makes sense.
This, in turn, can increase the portion of your Social Security benefits that becomes subject to federal income tax. As the article notes, depending on your total income, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits could end up being taxable.
85%. Wow.
Yeah, it depends on your total combined income.
And higher income can even have a ripple effect on your Medicare costs, right? I think I saw that mentioned.
Yes, it can. Good point. Medicare Part B and Part D premiums are subject to what's known as IRMAA, the Income-Related Monthly Adjustment Amount.
IRMAA.
If your income goes above certain thresholds because of your unretirement earnings, you could end up paying higher monthly premiums for your Medicare coverage. It's definitely something to factor into your financial planning.
This all sounds pretty intricate, lots of moving parts. What's the key takeaway for someone who's seriously considering unretirement and navigating all this?
The RetireCoast.com article strongly advises, and I'd echo this, anyone contemplating a return to work or starting a business after retirement should really consult with a qualified financial advisor.
Professional advice.
Yes. And it's also crucial to explore the resources available directly from the Social Security Administration and Medicare.gov. Understanding these rules, how your specific situation might be affected, is essential to protect your existing retirement income while you're exploring new opportunities.
So maybe thinking strategically about when you claim Social Security or how you structure business income.
Exactly. Those kinds of planning points can potentially minimize any negative impacts.
That's definitely crucial advice. Now, for those who are leaning towards the entrepreneurial route, the article offers some specific business ideas that might be a good fit for folks in unretirement. What kind of ventures are we talking about?
Yeah, they had a good list. It's quite varied, actually, catering to a wide range of skills and interests. Consulting is a natural fit, right? Leveraging years of professional experience.
Makes sense.
Freelance writing or editing offers flexibility, often home-based. Property management or managing vacation rentals can be a good option, especially in tourist-heavy areas like that Gulf Coast example.
Ah, tying it back.
Yeah. Home services. Handyman work consistently in demand. Tutoring or test prep lets you share knowledge. E-commerce, selling things online, crafts, vintage items, whatever.
Lots of possibilities there.
Definitely. Life coaching or retirement coaching using your own life experience. Pet services, very popular, often profitable and enjoyable. Event planning, if you're organized. And even offering local tours, sharing knowledge of your community.
It sounds like there's a pretty diverse range of options, something to suit different backgrounds and energy levels.
Exactly. And as the article points out, many of these ideas can be scaled to match your desired energy level and fit within your overall financial plan. Many also have relatively low startup costs, which is appealing.
No barrier to entry.
Right. And the article even directs people to further in-depth guides on RetireCoast.com specifically about starting a business after retirement, forming the business, low-cost ideas, navigating regulations, that sort of thing.
Very helpful. Well, this has been a really illuminating deep dive into the world of unretirement, drawing on those comprehensive insights from RetireCoast.com. It's clear that unretirement isn't just about going back to the way things were.
No, not at all.
It's more about moving forward with purpose, applying all that accumulated wisdom in new and meaningful ways.
That's the essence of it, I think. Whether it's through finding a fulfilling part-time job or taking that leap into entrepreneurship, there are some really exciting possibilities out there.
Yeah.
And for those who are open to a change of scenery, a location like the Mississippi Gulf Coast could offer a particularly attractive and, importantly, affordable backdrop for this next chapter.
And for anyone who wants to explore this topic further, RetireCoast.com sounds like an invaluable resource, just packed with articles and helpful information.
Absolutely. They offer a wealth of detailed articles and resources specifically tailored for retirees considering both business ventures and potential relocation. Really worth checking out if this is on your mind.
So as you think about what's next, maybe consider those skills and passions that have always been simmering beneath the surface. Could unretirement be the unexpected opportunity to finally bring them to life, crafting a truly rewarding next act? What's that one thing you've always thought about doing? Maybe, just maybe, now's the perfect time to explore it.